And now the CBN last week announced new guidelines for digital payments providers who offer contactless payment solutions. Well, contactless payments broadly are transactions where users pay by simply tapping or waving their payment devices at the point of sale terminals. It's also called proximity payment. Well, joining me now is Mr. Marcel Okeke, former chief economist, Zenith Bank Group. Great to have you on the show. Good morning.
For having me.
So from the guidelines released by the CBN, contactless transactions will be capped at about 15,000 naira per transaction with a daily maximum of 50,000 naira. It seems contactless payments are more prone to fraud with the kind of limits we're seeing placed on transactions.
Thank you very much for having me on again. You see, contactless payment is part of the efforts of the Central Bank of Nigeria, to entrench cashless payment on the payment system here within the, financial sector. It's part of the cashlessness of the economy that they are pursuing. And so the contactless payment we're talking about is taken off as a pilot stage. So the maximum amount we're talking about, which is 50,000, is an entry point kind of maximum, so that in course of time, the CBN and the stakeholders will be discussing and agreeing on whether to adjust it upwards or downwards, okay, depending on how the system proves to be efficient, transparent, and it's not prone to fraud and all that. So it's an experimental and a kind of pilot stage thing they're doing, and that is why you have that kind of limit at this takeoff.
And other countries that use contactless payments hardly have to confirm identity, but some level of identification is required to actually make use of this service. Why is that?
Yes, now our system. Our environment is loaded with all kinds of fraud, and you are talking about digital payment. All kinds of digital fraud and all that accompany transactions, this time, not only in Nigeria, but in all parts of the world. You understand? So that is why, should any person want to exceed the maximum stipulated now, which is the 50,000, there will be need, for some kind of identification. But in the background, for any person to even get involved in all of this, the proper KYC, know your customer job would have been done, by the banks, so that, he's a real human being, where he lives, what he's doing, blah, 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 all that are contained in the know your customer, issues. So there's really nothing wrong in the way they are starting. I think it's something that we have to give time, and then people start knowing it better and then key into it. That's contactless. The confidence, the ease, of completing such transactions, we recommend it, to so many people going forward. Thank you.
And you can just carry on your payments like that. But who carries the burden of fraud here? Is it the service provider, the user, or the CBN?
First of all, whoever as a customer want to embark on contactless payment, you will be interfacing with the merchant. So it's the merchant that first of all, will be hit, who is giving the customer the privilege, if you like, or offering that kind of service to the customer. So he's the one that will be held responsible, and then he will, contact the back office people to trace how the, whatever, failure or abuse occurs, it will be traced. But so many stakeholders are involved. It's technology, it's ICT driven. So at the end of the day, it will be traced to wherever it is in the entire chain or in the system. You understand? But first of all, whenever it happens, is that the merchant who is in possession of the gadget, you understand, which looks like a POS, that will be held responsible for even making that kind of instrument or device available to the customer.
All right, but what are you seeing for adoption of contactless payment here in Nigeria? What's your expectations for adoption?
Well, like I said, what is happening now is a pilot stage. If at this beginning it proves to be fraud-proof, meaning that you don't have cases of fraud and abuses and all that, chances are that it's going to do well going forward, because Nigerians are getting used, to cashless transactions. So people carrying cash all over the place is becoming a thing of the past. And so this is one of the products that the Central Bank of Nigeria has come up with, so that that culture is being entrenched. So over time, maybe the next couple of months, or maybe by the end of this year, people will now see that this is a safe way of, doing payments and all that. And people will start buying into it for convenience. You understand?
Right. Well, I guess we'll keep tracking, see how adoption grows. Thank you so much, Mr. Marcel Okeke, the former chief economist at Zenith Bank. It was great having your perspective today. Thank you so much.
Thank you too for having me. Well done.
All right. Yeah. So we're talking contactless payments there, but now we'll take a break. When we come back, we get a sense of what the Tinubu administration has planned to attract foreign direct investment into the country. That's our next conversation. Do stay with us.